No, there you go. Hey, we're back at the Edge of Bay in Dundas. It's Brother with a whole bunch of people looking in the window at us, and there's a reason for that. Tonight, an Edge presentation at the warehouse. It's Garbage. Hey, let's hear it for Garbage. Can you guys hear me out there? I think you can pick that up.
Yeah, we can hear him.
Yeah, we got Butch and we got Steve. Unfortunately, Duke isn't feeling that great right now. He's got a bit of the flu.
He's got a bit of the flu, but I think there's a motto: if you can walk, you play in this band. So he'll be on stage tonight. Yeah.
So if someone like Shirley was to get the flu, would there be an exception, or would it still be she's?
Butch would have to sing then.
I'd be singing. Yeah, it would be really lo-fi. No, we're lucky. Shirley doesn't get sick too much. Her voice gets tired. We've been on tour since May 15th, but we've never missed a show. Knock on
not one cancellation yet, and you've probably done over 100 shows since May.
Yeah, and probably 400 since the first album came out. So
and no cancellation. This is a band you don't really have to take too much insurance out in, obviously.
I guess not.
Knock on Formica.
Yeah, so anyway, we're playing a warehouse tonight with Girls Against Boys, and I wanted to touch upon that first of all because Girls Against Boys just seemed to me to be like the perfect match for Garbage to be playing with on the stage with.
Yeah, the kids love them, and they're putting on great shows. We're really happy we brought them out with us this fall.
Have you ever met them prior to this?
Yeah, we did some festivals in '96 with them, and I had talked a little bit about possibly working on their last record, but then we got immersed in Garbage in version 2.0, and it took a lot longer than we thought. So.
Yeah. So you ended up working with them, but like I said, I mean, the fact that even just the sound, I mean, you're not identical, but you're very copacetic, I guess.
Great grooves and great guitars.
Yeah, and it seems to work perfectly for you, you know.
Shirley thinks they look really cute, too. So.
We were talking about that earlier, actually. The cute boy band. The Endless Tour, as you mentioned, continues. You've been on the road since May. You came and visited us. I think the last time you saw us was at our old location on 204 Yonge Street, and you were just doing, what was it, 9 or 10 dates. You were just kind of trying to get the kinks out of the live experience. Have you managed to do that now? Do you figure it's taken care of pretty well, and the sound pretty well generates itself in some certain aspects?
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good about the show right now. You know, it feels like there's not that much that can go wrong anymore. We used to have these train wrecks where, you know, the samplers would crash and computers would blow up and all that kind of stuff is behind us now.
Yeah. Are you taking the tour anywhere you haven't taken the tour before? The next little while?
Russia. We're going to Russia.
Yeah,
oh, really?
We just found out a couple days ago, 3 shows
Estonia.
Estonia, St. Petersburg, and we're going to South America too for the first time. We've never been there yet. So.
You have just going through one of the millions of sites on the net that has the name Garbage attached to it. You have a lot of fans, judging by the things I've read in South America, and that are just starving to have you guys down there. However, I don't know if you've ever heard the stories about South America from some bands, and the fans are just absolutely fanatical. They just, follow you wherever you go, and just they will do anything to touch you, to do anything.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of places. Like our crew has been there, and Japan was the same. We went there. That the fans are just absolutely fanatical. And,
is this where you got these killer glasses, by the way?
These are actually, I got these from a company in Florida called Blind. I have a really big Scandinavian head, so I need really big shades.
Really big Scandinavian head. Beautiful. You played the Reading Festival as well this summer. I wanted to touch upon that because a lot of people, of course, we get Lollapalooza, and we get, endless touring festivals nowadays, it seems, here in North America, but we don't get the ones that happen once a year in the certain locations. For instance, the Reading Festival, which happens just west of London, I do believe, if my information is correct. Yep. I went to the Glastonbury Festival back in 1995, and it's absolutely insane. 4 days, 100,000 people. Reading Festival, similar to that. What's your experiences playing a festival like that as opposed to maybe doing one of these touring festivals in North America?
Well, the cool thing, we played a lot of festivals this summer in Europe, and all the bills are extremely diverse there. And they usually have 2 or 3 stages, like a main stage. They may have a DJ tent, and most of them are 3 or 4 days too. So it's a pretty long process, but. We just found the vibe was super cool over there. I think maybe it's because they're used to it. A lot of them, like Roskilde and Reading and Glastonbury, are institutions to a certain extent. A lot of the touring festivals seem to find a niche, and they kind of have the same acts. When Lollapalooza started, that was a little bit more diverse, at least in the alternative sense.
Absolutely.
But like Lilith Fair is much more of a segmented audience. So we thought it was cool because we would be on stage with the Prodigy and Beck and Bob Dylan open for us in New Order. Just really amazing different diverse bills. So it was a lot of fun, and we headlined some of them to 60 or 70,000 people, which is pretty intense.
Now, as far as when you're talking about headlining, do you find that your music tends to go over a little better playing to 60,000 people, or maybe to what you're playing to tonight, which I guess is 2,300? Is there a favorite for you, first of all? I mean, is there a preference for the band?
We like it all, really. I don't know if there's really any one kind that's better.
It all depends on the show itself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the smaller clubs are really fun, you know.
Yeah.
You can actually see the people's faces.
Okay.
Yeah, the venues we've been playing now are cooler for us because it's our own show. We have our own PA and our own lights, and we get to play longer. We're playing B-sides and some cover tunes and tracks from both the albums and stuff, and we change things a lot. And when you do the festivals, it's not really your show because there's 30 or 40 or 50 bands. You got to kind of go up there,
Play the
get a
hits
sound
off.
check. Yeah, so it's really, this is, I think for us, the whole North American tour has really been a gas so far.
New Rock, Edge 102, it's Garbage from version 2.0. That is called Special. Now, I'm not sure, so you guys it doesn't have to be long, but I just want to know, is that Chrissie Hynde in that song?
No.
It's not. It's just Shirley sounding a lot like Chrissie Hynde
It's
in
really
that
sounded
song.
like Chrissie, yeah.
But there is a story behind that. Chrissie, we talked about this when you were here in May, actually, but just for those who weren't there or just, whatever the case may be, Chrissie Hynde gave your blessings to use a portion of one of the Pretenders songs in that song. Am I right?
Yeah, Shirley just kind of started ad-libbing at the end of that, and the talk of the town came out because she was singing so much like early Pretenders, like early Chrissie Hynde, and
Just by accident.
Just by accident, and then because we had that line in there, I think Special, we decided let's because that's a line in the Pretenders song.
Yeah.
That would be cool to have a bit of an homage to it.
Yeah.
And then we thought, well, she samples that or sings that, interpolates it is what it's called, and we should make sure we get clearance on that. Instead of going through the lawyers and the record company, we just called her up directly, and Shirley talked to her, and she gave us her blessing. She sent us a fax saying, I, Chrissie Hynde, hereby allow the band Garbage to sample my voice, my music, and indeed my very ass. Love, Chrissie Hynde.
Okay. Well, yeah.
We have that framed up on the wall at the studio. It's cool.
I was going to ask you, though, I don't think you've used the ass in any certain video or anything like that we've seen so far, right? Okay.
Or
Not yet.
arse, I guess. Is
Ours. Yeah, sure. Are you...
Shirley would say.
Is it true that you're scoring a film? Is this true?
Working on it. We have had a couple offers for some things. Nothing concrete yet, but that's something we want to do when we finish this tour. We've been talking to several different directors, and it could be cool.
So, we really want to do like a whole movie from start to finish, but so far it's just been...
What, make your own movie, you mean? Or
No,
just
do the music
score
for...
an
maybe
entire
we'll
flick?
make our own movie.
Yeah.
But someday.
It's almost Christmas, guys. You got to have that live documentary out there, don't you? No, but I mean, so you're seriously thinking about it. I guess it's too early to really discuss what your offers are or anything like that, so we really won't. As being producers, is there anyone out there right now that either one of you or both of you would really like to work with nowadays? Like you heard them and gone, man, I'd really like to give it a shot to one of their songs or anything like that.
God, there's a lot of really cool new music we've been listening to. I love this band called Flick from Missouri.
Yeah.
I think they're like the singer is like 16 or something. His brother plays guitar, but they're a very young band. It's kind of fuzzy, power pop, very dreamy. It's really, really cool songs.
Mm-hmm. I know Butch is back with the fact that he produced, he worked on Nevermind and Siamese Dream and Sonic Youth's record and stuff like that. Steve, what have you done in the back in the past?
Absolutely nothing.
You're not really a producer?
No.
We're serious?
Nothing. No,
that's not
we've
true.
we've had a studio in Wisconsin for like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Butch and me. And mainly a lot of local kind of punk stuff and a lot of skateboard punk, hardcore.
Killdozer.
Oh, yeah.
Killdozer type acts, yeah.
That's your preference? Or it's just easier?
That's kind of what we fell into, and we love it, yeah.
Yeah, Garbage had never. Actually, I had read that you really had no idea that, or not no idea, but you really didn't think that Garbage was going to be a touring band or doing what you're doing now. Is that true?
It was going to be this quick. Well, we didn't know what was going to happen, but we had no expectations that it would turn into this full-time tour around the world forever type band.
Yeah.
And we're just really lucky the way it's turned out. It's been amazing.
Good aspects
How well
of
it's
doing what you're
done.
doing.
Yeah, everything's good.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are the good aspects?
Oh, what are
yeah,
they?
what are the good aspects?
Well, you get to
Travel.
play. You get to play in front of amazing audiences every night. You can't get that in the studio. It's such a. I mean, we were musicians before we became engineers and producers, and so kind of
a lot
going
of
back
people
full
wouldn't know
circle.
that. I don't think a lot of people know that either.
And we played in some very obscure bands.
Yeah.
But there's a. I mean, you can't in the studio. You have all this control, and you can really work on your music. But when you go out live, you can't control it, and that's what makes it such an incredible adrenaline buzz. And we're very interactive with the audience. We really feed off them, and I think vice versa. And it becomes very addictive. I mean, no matter how tired you are from traveling, the second the lights go down and you hear the roar of the crowd, it just the hairs in the back of your neck go up. You can't get that anywhere else.
In the studio, you play a part, and maybe Butch will be there, and he'll go, "Oh, that sounded pretty good." It's much more fun to have like 20,000 kids going, "Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
There's not a lot of clapping in the studio.
no. Just you could hire some of the kids outside if you want, but it gets a little pricey.
We should get an applause loop in the studio. That's what we should do when someone plays a good part.
Hey, Oasis did it for the song "I Am the Walrus," the B-side that's on the master plan.
Is that
Hear
fake?
about that?
Fake applause?
Yeah, it was recorded at a sound check that they had done. They had done for some industry party, and they took the Kinks, a bootleg album, and they sampled it and used it. You can't tell the difference. So it's an idea, guys. If you want to steal it, please do.
All right,
Come
thank you.
on.
Thank you."
Edge 102, it's Push It, Garbage from version 2.0. They're in town tonight for a show at the Warehouse, a sold-out Edge presentation. Girls Against Boys on stage as well. I think Girls Against Boys on around 9:30 or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
About
9:30. Yeah.
Something to that effect. Before we let you go, one question that I noticed a lot of the people who come down to the Edge of Bay and Dundas or other locations ask the guys in the band, and it doesn't seem to matter whether the band's had an album out the week before or 10 years before. The question that they get is when's your new album coming out? When are you going back in the studio? So, on behalf of people who want that question answered, I'm going to ask it to you now, okay?
Just put one out.
I know
People
that.
started asking us, it was June and the record had been out for like 4 weeks and we're in Europe. But when is your next album coming out? Not next week, that's for sure.
I'll tell you that much, yeah.
I mean, we're on tour until sometime, who knows?
Next year sometime.
Late next year, because we go in January, we go back to Europe.
yeah.
Then we go to South America, Australia, Japan. Then we're coming back to North America sometime in April or May for another big tour, which probably won't end until August or September. So
Right.
we're thinking of, besides trying to score this film we finished that, we may release some live tracks. We have a lot of obscure B-sides and remixes, so we may release a lot of the stuff that's kind of in the underground. But we probably won't start a proper album until
2000?
late next year, yeah.
So we're going to probably look until 2000. So there you go, Garbage fans. Now you know. Enjoy this album. Soak it in for a couple more months because it's going to be probably till 2000 till we hear anything new. I want to thank you both for coming by so
Thank
much.
you.
It's always a pleasure to see you in Toronto. I think this is about your 5th or 6th time. One more time, you're going to have to pay to come on the air with us, okay?
Right on,
just to
right
let
on.
you
It's a
know.
deal.
But thanks for coming, guys. Want to play one more song from version 2.0. It's Garbage, Edge 102.